as IWMI is the only international organization headquartered in Sri Lanka. The government of Sri Lanka is pleased to take this opportunity to further strengthen our long-standing relations towards to secure, water-secure world. Your contribution in this area has been over 4 decades, experienced and harnessed by our country, and also in the planning and process of new research activity by our departments as well as farmer and the irrigation community. I also would like to take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to IWMI for all the support in other areas of the last 4 decades of your work here to develop and enhance number of land water-based management policies, and also assisting our institutions to implement number of water management initiatives in the island. The priorities that we have mentioned, Director General, along with your research team, and also what has been shown as some of the priority areas of research study is important. May I also agree with you that mapping of groundwater is very important for Sri Lanka. And also increasing sanitary facilities. We need a proper mapping too, which perhaps is the next crisis that can set in Sri Lanka, especially in the urban, semi-urban areas. For this, we also have to seek perhaps your guidance for areas of wastewater reuse, which is important because you all have made a lot of study about, I think, very appreciative in the food waste. And myself and the Secretary, as members of the food security, as well as the 14,200 village level program that His Excellency the President has launched on reaching a target of to have self-sufficiency in food, especially in rice and food areas. It is essential that we are able to a very high degree control the waste. The supply chains and also in between, even the budget mentioned recently, it's around 37% waste. This is a very important factor. Water is applied, water is used, and the product as a harvest comes. The farmer is finding it difficult to protect the produce at a reasonable price. So by the time it comes to the markets or available to the consumer, 37% or more is wasted. There is a financial commitment that is involved, which drives the farmer as well as the government and perhaps some of our banks into crisis. That is the reality I would like to mention. Therefore, this has to be combined together in some form so that the research would also encompass these areas which will benefit the farmers. Land use in the end has to benefit the farmers, and also wastage of water which can be controlled. I do not want to take much time. We are also related to most of our key departments and ministries, guiding them. Also the transfer of knowledge that we could experience in the region, where some of our neighbors have advanced in some areas. Sri Lanka also should be able to gain through perhaps the facilitation of IWMI is very important. Also, we all are discussing across the world for the last 2 or more decades since Rio about the possible catastrophe that can come in. From the Paris Convention that we have put our signature. But achieving these goals is also the difficult task that lies more in the well-to-do countries than countries like ours. Delivering the commitment is a problem. It's a problem for all societies that has to plan for climate change. If we do not plan, this is what all of us will face. So, IWMI has taken a lead, which I as the Prime Minister, on behalf of the President also would appreciate your research as well as commitment to this area, and also have a dialogue, continuous dialogue with our institutions, our planners of the possible scenario that might emerge. So let us not invest twice, and let us not pay compensation twice. Planners must understand that we listen and have a trust in the research that is found for the future. I hope that we could work closely on these areas with IWMI. As an international organization, Sri Lanka is happy to host and continue to host your presence and support further the activities that IWMI would be able to research and help our goals of reaching food security, essential for us all. There is a setback or a slowdown in the world economy. It's not only Sri Lanka, extra issues are cropping up. Sri Lanka also, as we have just managing to emerge from the financial and debt crisis, we also face a very special situation where we have to concentrate on food security as the highest priority. In this area, as I mentioned earlier, we have embarked on a program of reaching self-sufficiency in rice production, perhaps with all efforts, support of IWMI, all efforts of the governmental departments and other research organizations, and finally, the commitment and the sacrifice of our farmers to reach this at the end of the Maha season that we are now embarked on. In a few months, we will be able to harvest Maha, which should, with all expectations and the commitments and the deliveries, working on a agreed timetable, bring this goal to a success. I will not delve into other areas. I have been on and off in a different portfolios I've held, come to your IWMI, which has impressed not only me, across many public officials in finding more recent information in research related to water irrigation and its applications. The urban areas of our country needs a much more serious planning in the areas of water. Water management is very important. International Water Management Institute, we look up to you. In our urban cities, treated water is used for some areas which could have recycled water. Now this is a saving that Sri Lanka can embark on a high priority basis, even in conserving our issues that are cropped up in energy, etc. For this, we need a more closer dialogue. As I would like to repeat again, we have to save water for the farmers. We have to save water so that it remains a longer period as groundwater. We need to recharge our groundwater. We also need to preserve treated water for much more high priority areas and also look into areas where we could recycle. Finally, may I thank you for inviting me, and on your new tenure of office in Sri Lanka, I wish you and all other officials of the IWMI all success. Thank you.